What's up, everybody? William the Creator here, and today I'm doing a new horror movie review called VHS Beyond. Now, this is a Shudder exclusive original movie, so if you don't have Shudder, you cannot watch it. But if you can find your way around to watching it, I could recommend you to go watch it. Now, this movie is one of the VHS movies of the series, which is actually a group of movies that are like found footage complication movies that has 5 segments horror stories in them. And this theme of this one supposed to have 5 stories based on space, which it doesn't. Only 3 of them are based on space, while the others are just miscellaneously just random. But we're going to do this differently, where I will explain and talk about each segment of the story are in this movie and give you my opinion on them. So let's start with the first one. Not the main story. The main story is technically, the actual story of the movie, but we'll talk about that one last after the last segment. So we'll start with the first segment, which is basically based on a group of hunters who goes into a house who they believe that the 40 babies that are missing are in there. And you see the first person view of a guy who's a rookie to this group, who's new to the group, and they let him on this mission to go save these babies. And he's the one that's holding the camera, and they call him the ammo bag too, because he's the one that's carrying all their ammo. So when they need ammo, they go to him, get the ammo out the pocket, and then use the ammo in the guns. Because when they go to this house that the babies are in, it becomes a slaughterhouse. I mean, it's just massacre. You see blood splattered everywhere, people getting shot up and killed and stuff. And these weren't actual people. These are like some type of zombified, mutated creatures. I don't know what they are, but they're humans, just mutated. And it was just awesome. The practical effect and the cosmetics and makeup design on these grotesque of these zombified people was just awesome. And these people, the hunters that go in, they just go in and massacre everyone. They even killed a dude who came out of nowhere with a chainsaw, busting through walls and starts trying to cut them. And then there's one scene in there where the dude who was the one holding the camera actually gets a chainsaw from the dude, because they all come back up alive, because they're dead, because they don't know the rules of zombies basically. And he just starts cutting through all of them, and it was awesome. And when they get to the one part of the house where they believe where the babies are at, then the whole thing is going to surprise you of what's actually going on. But this one was one of my favorite segments. I enjoyed it a lot. It was cool. It was violent, and it was definitely worth the watch. The second segment, which takes place in India, which is kind of my second least favorite, is based on these 2 India people who's trying to get pictures of this famous actress who just pop out being famous out of nowhere. And the view of this one is based on the main dude who actually goes into the girl's trailer, who's at some type of movie set, and he tries to go get a picture of her, which one of the people that they work for found a way to get them in there, because they weren't supposed to be there, but they did anyways. And when he goes in there to get her picture, after he saw her on set and how she was dancing and how she kept dancing and dancing and dancing, and then the director of the movie had to stop, and he got mad because he's like, "You're making her work so hard," and she doesn't know what's going on. The dude, the paparazzi, basically, paparazzi, I'm mixing up the P word. He is hiding in her closet, see her crying, ask her what's going on, and when he see her that she's acting weird and stuff, he starts freaking out, and then all of a sudden chaos starts happening from there, and it's like crazy bloodshed. It was just it's like a crazy genocide movie from India. It was because they had it was just like, I don't know how to explain it without spoiling it, but there's just people dying everywhere. They threw a music segment in that sort horror segment of her killing people while the music playing and while her dancing. It was cool. You just gotta watch it. It's hard to explain it without you experience that segment yourself. But like I said, it's my least favorite, but it was entertaining at the least for my experience. Now, the third segment, of course, which is one of my favorite segments. I actually enjoyed this one. It's about a group of friends actually take their best friend whose birthday was on that day to go parachuting, because he has a fear of heights. So they thought it'd be funny to take him going to go parachuting. And they have this camera which they all pass around talking, saying happy birthday to this dude before they hand the camera to him to hold, where he's like telling everyone how he thanked them for the experience they better give him, but he was afraid of heights and he wished he was back on the ground because he don't want to be up in this airplane. When all of a sudden something happened where all their lives starts to take a giant turn when this plane crashed into some type of random object in the sky, and everyone starts falling to the ground, and then they fall into some type of like a orange pasture or some orange orchard. I don't know. It was like a giant field, it's like a cornfield, but it's a bunch of trees with oranges on it. They all crash in there at the plane from a tall falling heights, and it's just crazy. And there's something in there that's hunting all his friends. Even though half of them died from the crash, half of them still survive, and half of them are trying to survive from wherever's there killing them that came from that crash. And it's chaotic. It's awesome. There's CGI on the creature that's down there killing them all, and not all of them, but just killing them. And the CGI on the plane and stuff, and the wherever they crashed into, that random object, it was awesome. It was a cool segment. Even the practical effect on the gore and stuff in this one was awesome, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. So that was probably my favorite one I've seen so far, besides the hunting one, which was the first segment. The fourth segment, which is directed by Jason Long and his brother, which I don't know his brother's name, but it's the same name, Long. If you don't know who Jason Long is, you might know him from the Kevin Smith movie that he was in called Tusk, where he plays a character guy who goes to Canada, goes missing, and technically, when his girlfriend tries to find him, and gets the help of a character who's being played by Johnny Depp, who lives in Canada, now noticing that her boyfriend got captured by some psychopath who did some body horror on him and turned him into a human flesh walrus. Yes, it's really corny, but it's disgusting. But it's Kevin Smith, so if something that Kevin Smith directs and writes, I'm there to watch it. I like Kevin Smith. But other than that, the segment that Jason Long directed for this movie, it's body horror. It's a camera first person view, like almost like all of them are. But this one it's basically about this group of people who are kind of like PETA, people who wants to help animals and want to stop people who are abusing animals, are trying to target this YouTuber woman who technically take care of the dogs, have a dog daycare and stuff, and on her mantle or her shelf above her fireplace, she had 3 dogs who are dead, but she stuffed them with a bunch of stuffing, like people when they hunt animals, in the woods, take the body back, and then stuff them with a bunch of whatever they put in there just to have them mounted on a wall as decoration and stuff. So they are actually targeting her because they believe that she is killing her own dogs, stuffing them with the stuff, and placing them above her fireplace as decoration. So these 2 people, who are part of the PETA group, goes there to do their investigation, bring an actual dog with the camera inside the thing that shows the whole situation that happens. And when they get there, it's like a lot of chaos happening. Not actual chaos of like the other 3 movies I told you about. This one's more like, you guys not gonna escape this. It's basically like those movies are it's like Pet, like the movie. If you've seen the movie Pet, it's like the girl get kidnapped by a serial killer and he keeps her as a pet, and he contains her. It's like a contained chaos, not chaos. I keep bringing up chaos. I mean, it's a contained. I don't know how to put it. Just like they get kidnapped. It's like Tusk. They get kidnapped and shit starts happening to them by the woman because she's a freaking lunatic and she does stuff to them. And then the group that she's with are they haven't heard from them for days, and they go to her house to find her, and the same stuff happens to them. And then it ends, and then it ends horribly wrong, and then then that's it. But it's basically just it's a weird segment, but it's by Jason Long, so I say that this is my least favorite, my actual least favorite one. It was not as gory, but it is disturbing, and the cosmetics on what the woman did to the people there, it was pretty cool, but at the same time, like I said, I really didn't care for this segment. So we can move on to the next one. We can move on to the next one. The next one is about a woman, who's going around in the New Mexico, Arizona desert, and she's technically trying to interview people about aliens, trying to figure out if they are real and stuff. And people tell her about the 3 lights in the sky, how there are UFOs in the sky, and how the lights like to separate, come to the ground, and they believe that aliens are going around in the desert finding specimens to take back to the ship so they can take them back to their planets to do experiments on. And then after she does her interview, she talks to the camera and talks about how the many light years it takes to come from our planet to their world, and stuff like that. And then she just explains and bunch a lot of scientific space stuff. And then later on, while she's talking about it during that nighttime, she sees the lights, and you see one of the lights come down to the ground, which she decided, to go and to investigate. Which to me, that's the wrong idea that she does this, but this is a horror movie, so people are gonna do dumb shit in horror movies. So technically, she goes check out what the light is, and it's a UFO. And instead of like taking pictures of it with her phone and walking away, because she wants to prove to her people at her college, because she's a professor, to show them that, hey, UFOs are real, because they were laughing in her face saying they're not real, which is why she's out there. She goes inside the UFO. Instead of taking pictures of the outside of it, she goes inside of it and starts messing with stuff inside of it, not knowing that the alien came back earlier than she thought. She wasn't able to escape. The ship takes off, and basically all you see is how she survives, a space exploration of light years coming from our planet to their planet, and you see the evolution of her changing, and it's outright disturbing. It felt like how you say, a 1970 found footage movie that's in black and white, and it was creepy. It's a creepy segment. The practical effect on her changing, it was cool. You don't see much of it because the camera was so blurry. You don't see that much crap in there. The thing when she hit the ship and it starts healing her, it was cool. The segment was directed by God, who was it directed by? It was directed by Mike Flanagan, the guy who did most of the House on the Haunted Hill and all those on Netflix, and he also directed Doctor Sleep, and he'd be directing the new Exorcist movie coming out not next year, but the year after that. And he's also doing the Carrie TV show, what they announced today. So he directed this segment that I'm talking about. And there was someone else, some other famous person that helped him directing this too. But this was also my least favorite. Not as least as the fourth segment with the one by Jason Long. But I mean, I did enjoy the artist. I'm sorry, my words are cracking up today. The articity of it, or the original. Not original, but the art side of it is pretty cool. Other than that, I mean, my least favorite of all the other ones, besides the fourth one being the first least favorite, and then this one. But then the other one, the fifth segment, the other segment, which is the main story about some Asian guy in Canada who went missing, and they believe that he got abducted by aliens, and they're just talking about aliens and how he could have been abducted and all this and that. And then this guy who bought these videos on the black market brings them to these people to watch and view them to see if it's real or not. And then they couldn't explain it. Even he brought these famous YouTubers. I forgot what the YouTuber's name they brought into this segment, but they were there and they were trying to debunk the video, saying how this is fake, and seeing the special effects that are in it that makes it fake, and they couldn't find nothing. They was like, yeah, we couldn't find anything to debunk. This video doesn't seem like it's fake and stuff, knowing that the video is real. And then at the end, it shows you the actual video of what happened to the guy, and it's creepy, it's weird. And after that, the whole movie ends. So that was also my least favorite. So if I want to put them in categories or a list of how I like them, I like the third segment, first segment, the second segment, the fifth segment, fourth segment, and then the main story, which is kind of boring. But other than that, I mean, this VHS movie, it was good. Not as good as the second one. Like VHS 2 is my favorite because of the zombie segment in there, and of course the Philippines, I don't know if it's Thailand Philippine segment of the satanic type cult shit. And then the first VHS movie I liked a lot too, because the first segment based on the succubus was probably like the pure gold one. But I mean, this movie wasn't bad. It's worth the watch, just to watch and then to enjoy, like all of them are. And they release them every year. And the next year, we're getting a new one, which is VHS 8. No title yet, but I'm excited to see what it is. But other than that, I'm gonna give this whole movie 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely, if you want to go watch it, definitely go watch it. But other than that, sorry this video is long. Please comment below if you've seen this movie and what you rate it and what's your favorite segment too. Please also like my video and please share this so I can have my YouTube channel be big enough and stuff. You know what I mean? Just share my video so I can get more you know what I mean? Never mind. You know what I mean. And other than that, I'll see you all in my next video. Goodbye, everybody.